Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. You can't fight like that, or can you fight like that? Depending on who's fighting and who's the promoter. Because if you listen to Bob Arum, when it comes to Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, he'll tell you that Shakur Stevenson is going to surpass Marvelous Marvin Hagler. And had generationally extremely high expectations for Shakur. Even praised him after his fight against De Los Santos and tried to put a lot of the blame on De Los Santos for not really being a boxer that's trying to use a lot of IQ, but more just wanting to come in and exchange and have a slugfest, which isn't Shakur Stevenson's style and not true boxing. However, he wants to come out now with Jermaine Ortiz, who did, for the most part, what Shakur Stevenson he put on a very similar performance to what Shakur Stevenson puts forth in most of his fights. And then Bob Arum wants to say that Jermaine Ortiz should be out of the sport of boxing. All because Jermaine Ortiz didn't allow Teofimo Lopez, who Bob Arum said when it comes to the brawling style, the mash-up, crash-up style, right? That's not true boxing when De Los Santos was trying to do it to Shakur. Now he's sitting there praising a fighter who's one of his, who wants to actually get there and have a mash-up, crash-up. So what this tells you, right, is when it comes to you can't fight like that, you can't fight like that if it doesn't benefit me, if it doesn't benefit the promoter. And that's exactly what this boils down to. When it comes to fight fans, who cares? Everybody's going to have an opinion. No one's speaking fact. But what I'll tell you is when it comes to Bob Arum making comparison about who could potentially be even greater than Marvelous Marvin Hagler, to that I got to say, hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Now, for those of you who are saying, why would Bob say something like that? That's because, Hagler, who was a middleweight, Bob Arum actually promoted him for for a while. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Shakur Stevenson picking up titles at 126, 130, and now seeing him in position at 135 with a WBC strap. I just think for him coming back, I think it's like he's rumored to be back in, I think it's in June or something. But long story short, let's go see what Bob Arum has to say about whether a fighter should or shouldn't fight, and that kind of, box and move around the ring, cat and mouse kind of style that Shakur Stevenson has. But this is where things get interesting for a guy like Shakur Stevenson. We don't know if he can take a punch or not, because Shakur Stevenson doesn't allow himself to get binged. He's very, very intelligent, and he's not going to sit there and fight to please or satisfy the crowd. He's going to fight to get a victory. No matter how ugly it looks, he's going to get a victory. But he may just come back, depending on the opponent, and stand there and try to hold his ground to prove to the world that he's more than just what people are calling him, a runner. And he may stand there and exchange and look for the mash-up, crash-up. And that could be his downfall. We just have to wait and see. But no matter what, he'll for sure be praised by Bob Arum for fighting in a style that's either going to be similar to what Teofimo was trying to do, De Los Santos was trying to do, or Jermaine Ortiz was trying to do, because Bob Arum is going to always support his fighters no matter what. Now, as far as Teofimo Lopez, look, I don't know what direction he's going, but when I say you can't fight like that, you can't be the lineal champion and out here not knowing how to make adjustments in the ring, out here not having a plan, out here in every round looking lost, not able to land punches. That is horrible. So when it comes to Teofimo Lopez and whatever he does next, I'll put it to you this way. He can't fight like that. He's going to have to figure it out, because he could be in there with somebody who has the legs of a Jermaine Ortiz, but can actually stand and hold his ground and let go hard shots and then roll out and have you there looking stupid. So he better figure out how to cut that goddamn ring off, or to throw that hook to control the movement of his opponent. Because I'm telling y'all right now, the way Teofimo looked in that fight, just against a boxer, Shikadzian as well, he doesn't know what to do. He is lost. So he's talking about activating his little special status to bubble up and try to challenge Terrence Crawford. I put it to you this way. Just like we say Teofimo can't keep fighting the way he fought against Jermaine Ortiz. What I'll say is, you can't fight like that. You can't possibly want that fight with Crawford because you can't win. That is a suicide mission. But the more Teofimo talks, the more they're seeing different articles coming out, and he may really call everybody's bluff and see, okay, I'm going to activate the status. Then we just got to wait and see what the WBO is going to say when it comes to whether they want to approve that or not. But that being said, these guys and titles and eliminators and everything, man, and promoters and fans, it's for me, it's just ridiculous because there's so many different styles of fighting. But at the end of the day, when you get to a level like Shakur, like Teofimo, fans are going to expect you to get in that ring and to not make excuses about having a bad performance or, not really being able to figure out an opponent. They're going to expect you to get in there and know what to do to make sure they're entertained, especially with the kind of money that these guys are making. They're making a lot of money. And when fans start feeling like they're going to spend their money to come see you fight and you're not going to put on a top-notch performance, they're no longer going to come out and support you. So I'm curious to see what things are looking like for the next fight for Teofimo and Shakur. I already know Shakur Stevenson, his guarantees have been cut by more than half. So his performance hurt him. For Teofimo, I don't know what's going to happen in his next fight, but I'm pretty sure I can't see him getting paid the same amount of whatever he got paid for this last fight, unless it's against a big name. But I would think, Bob Arum and those guys are smart. They understand the economics of the sport, and they understand the importance of crowd participation. And if you can't get people to want to show up to your fight, these promoters aren't in the business to lose money. They're in the business to make money. Doesn't matter who you are. That being said, Teofimo, Shakur Stevenson, both top-ranked fighters. But if you listen to Bob Arum tell the story, a guy like Jermaine Ortiz who fights like Shakur, he'll slam him. But a guy like Teofimo who was trying to come in there and make it a mashup crash-up like Edwin De Los Santos against Shakur, Teofimo will slam him. So it just depends on the fighter, and if the promoter has an interest in the fighter, then they're going to come out and either speak positively or negatively about him. That being said, y'all keep cool. I do think Shakur needs to figure it out. I think Teofimo needs to figure it out. Two of the bigger names in the top-ranked stable, and contrasting styles, but neither one was able to get the praise and to be lauded by the fight fans like what they were hoping. And when that doesn't happen, that affects ticket sales, that affects revenue, and that affects their fight purse guarantees. Y'all keep cool. In the breeze.